What's going on, Jerome's? Minnesota Vikings got out to a fast start, defeating the New York Football Giants 28-6 on the road to move to 1-0 on the season. Major test coming in week 2, September 15th. San Francisco 49ers descending upon U.S. Bank Stadium. Home opener for the Purple Faithful and head coach Kevin O'Connell. First of many Victory Monday press conferences. It's a great sweatshirt, by the way. Hat, we've been over. It's a pretty solid hat. Like, not the best, not the worst. Pretty solid, but that sweatshirt. Gotta have it. Gotta have it, man. So I talked about some stuff and some things, and as we always do, like to paraphrase. So he said that there's very few people in the league that he has more respect for than Kyle Shanahan. Obviously, you know, they have similar philosophy, similar coaching style, but also Shanahan has had great success. Not winning Super Bowls, but getting to Super Bowls, kind of huge, right? Also, Brandon Staley, who had crossover with Kevin O'Connell with the Rams, you know, a couple years back. He's on staff now in San Francisco as assistant head coach. So, you know, there's a lot of intermingling right now. And also, once the 49ers bench Brock Purdy because he's a fraud, Josh Dobbs is the backup quarterback. I love him, man. And of course, you know, Sling and Sam Darnold was a backup in San Francisco last year. We'll talk about that in a second. But he talked about short week, waiting on tape. So playing on a short week Monday to Sunday, like obviously the teams playing that can be a disadvantage, but also the teams that they play on Sunday are a disadvantage as well because, you know, Monday, Tuesday, major game planning days for Sunday's games before the players get back at practice on Wednesday. But also, hey, it's early in the season. There's zero goose egg DeAndre Russell regular season tape on what this San Francisco team is going to be. Offensively, there's going to have continuity, but they have a new defensive coordinator this year as well, so things could change. So they have to wait until tonight to get more tape. And then also versus if your opponent played on Sunday, like you're already cracking on that, right? Addison is the only injury of note. So AVG did exit the game, but it was really more precautionary when the game was in hand because he only played about 41 of the snaps, I believe. Addison has significant soreness in his right ankle. And Kevin O'Connell did say that it's a long season. Now, noteworthy because it is the right ankle, which is the other ankle from the injury that he had against the Browns in joint practice. That was the left ankle. So it's a new injury. It's not a re-aggravation. So I actually think that Addison could miss some time. Maybe a couple weeks, get both of them 100%. And also going to need Jalen Speedy Naylor to step up. He praised Naylor on that touchdown catch, also the perfect spin on the ball. Something good to see. And Darnold, so obviously Sling and Sam Darnold had himself a phenomenal game, and there's a lot to like. But he was asked things that he wants Darnold to clean up, and the obvious one was play clock issues. So the Vikings had two plays where in the third quarter where had to burn a timeout, and then they took a delay of game. And a lot of that is, you know, getting the play call out, getting to the line of scrimmage, going through motions, going through checks. And, I mean, that 40 seconds, that burns fast, man. But overall, he was happy with the way that Darnold was efficient with the offense, went through his progressions and all of that stuff. And this morning he reminded the team, you know, it's just like everyone says, like it is one game. And it's fun to win, and it's great to win games that you're supposed to win impressively in all phases. But consistency is the key. I did shout out both lines of scrimmages having huge performances, notably on the defensive side, Phillips, Bullard, and Jerry Tillery. And they really did. And I know that Bullard just sort of gets dismissed by fans, but Bullard is strong. Bullard is rock solid against the run, man. Jerry Tillery had some nice pressures. Again, the Vikings number 99 getting in the backfield. Woo! It's good to see, man. And also, notably, he shouted out Blake Brandel, who amongst the Vikings' interior offensive line. So Bradbury had kind of a rough day. Ed Ingram did not have a good day, but Brandel, like, he had like a 90 PFF grade, and overall, like was really damn solid both in run and pass protection, where he had a clean sheet. And you know, part of it is, yes, the Giants were definitely targeting Bradbury and Ed Ingram with Dexter Lawrence, so a little bit easier on Brandel, but you know, but it is good to see some quality play from Brandel, who they bet on in this offseason. Also, Darrisaw handled his business with Brian Burns, and that's respect. Like, Burns is one of the best edge rushers in the game, and Darrisaw basically put him in witness protection. That's exactly what he was supposed to do with that contract, and knock on the wood, Darisaw stays healthy, like he can be one of the best left tackles in the game. He's happy with the execution of the offense schematically. And so I feel like Kevin O'Connell should be a motivational guru. Like he says that one of the things that the team needs to work at is get better at getting better. Right? And it's one thing to get better, but get better at getting better. I feel like that should be on a t-shirt or something. Happy with the run game. Ty Chandler and Aaron Jones. Also, he shouted out how they both made tough catches out of the backfield. Chandler, picking up a first down when the Vikings were in the shadow of their end zone, kicking off that 99.5-yard touchdown drive. Aaron Jones early on. The Vikings were sort of behind the sticks due to penalties, and Jones, not only as a runner but also as a receiver, was able to get some things going. Plus, praised physicality in the run blocking game, and not just the offensive line, not just Josh Oliver, but also downfield. Guys like Trent Sherfield, who, whenever coaches talk about Trent Sherfield, they always praise his run blocking. Which, I don't know, that seems like a backhanded compliment for a wide receiver, but either way, he's getting after it. Talked about how the Vikings only ran 51 offensive plays. He wanted 60 plus. Now, part of it is the Vikings scored, but also had the turnover and And he talked about how they didn't take advantage of deferring. So it's interesting how he broke it down. So win the coin toss, you deferred to second half, you get the ball there, other team gets the rock to start the game, and if you get a stop on them, and then they punt, and then all of a sudden you're set up with good field position. But the Vikings had a penalty from carry on my J-word son on the punt return, also had the turnover, and it just sort of but also he talked about how he obviously trusts CJ Ham. That was a tough fumble, but really it was a great tackle by the Giants defender. But he praised the team is that they didn't have the here we go again mentality, which last year it was tough because early turnovers in a lot of the early games just kind of torpedoed this team. Right. And it would be very easy because the players are human too. It's like, here we go. Just like us fans, we're just like, we've seen this movie before. But they didn't let it quicksand. They didn't let it affect what they were doing. Also, they do have to clean up penalties. So he mentioned there's a couple 1st and 10 holding penalties. So, putting you behind the sticks at 1st and 15 or 1st and 20. So that's rough. Darnold with the Niners last year is valuable because he talked about the general soreness of being a starting quarterback, because obviously you get banged around even if you have good protection, which Darnold frankly did yesterday, only 1 sack and 2 quarterback hits. But also he's out of practice about getting dinged up, since he really only played 1 game last year for the Niners. So getting back in that routine. But also you talked about how being in San Francisco, being around a elite organization helps with his daily routine, and growing and showing. It's good, man. Also, talked about the red pen meeting. So what happens is offensive play callers and quarterbacks, so they'll run through practice, they'll run through the game plan, all of the various plays. Now, they could be the base package installation from OTAs and training camp. It could be new additions specifically for the opponent. And what they'll do is they'll go through the entire playbook, downs and distances, situations. What is the quarterback comfortable with? And the OC/head coach, in this case with Kevin O'Connell, and the starting quarterback will go through, I like this, I like this, I like this, I do not like this, bring out the red pen. So it's great in terms of collaboration. And also, it's unfortunate for defensive-minded head coaches because this is a huge competitive advantage where your head coach is mind melding with the starting quarterback if he's also the offensive play caller. Like, basically, it's a 2-for-1. It's fantastic. Also, it gives the starting quarterback ownership of the game plan and situations, and you make sure that he's fully comfortable. And that's something that I think that Kevin O'Connell is very, very good at. Also, his time as being an NFL NFL quarterback in general does benefit him as well. Flores' defense showed up and showed out how they're a tight-knit group, and also it's funny. So after the Andrew Van Ginkel pick 6, obviously the team was celebrating, but the coaching staff was a little bit too boisterous as well. And O'Connell said the ref came over to him and said, most of your defensive staff was in the end zone. Which is great, man. Which is fantastic. Like, again, that defense side of the ball, they are tight. They are tight-knit. They are fired up. Flores, I can't wait for the FU tour of this Flores defense, man. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Jonathan Grenard was a force despite the stat sheet. So if you look at the stat sheet, 0 tackles, 0 sacks, 0 whatever, but Grenard had 5 pressures, was really getting after things consistently in the Giants' backfield. And, with sacks can be a little bit of puck luck, right? So not every single play is you're Lawrence Taylor and just have a beeline on the quarterback. I mean, sometimes a sack is, hey, you have 1 or 2 other teammates that force the quarterback off his spot, creates pressure, and then he just sort of falls into your lap. But you get credit for the sack, and you're the man, right? So that's why pressures and pressure rate are the numbers I'm much more concerned about than sacks. And also talked about how, so if you notice, like, the Vikings didn't blitz as much as last year. Now, I don't know if that's the overarching theme for this season for this defense for Flores, or if it was a specific game plan for a mobile quarterback like Daniel Jones. But the 4-man pass rush was solid. It was efficient, and they were certainly getting after Daniel Jones' ass. Had 12 quarterback hits, 5 sacks as well. So overall, like, great day for the defense. Great day for the offense as well. Great day for slinging Sam Darnold, and great day for this guy. But just like O'Connell said, like, it was one game. There's 17 total in the regular season, and the Niners coming in, they're the reigning defending NFC champs, and they basically bring back everyone after they worked it out with Trent and Ayuk. So they're going to be tough, but Vikings are tough ass too, and we're at home. So let's get this thing done, man. Your thoughts are thoughts. Kevin O'Connell, Victory Monday presser. Our takeaways, our reaction. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, his thoughts, everyone's thoughts. Skull production value.